Good afternoon, everyone out there on the interwebs. My name is Jared, and this is my channel, Mazda B3K. In this video, we're going to work on fixing a draggy driver's seatbelt, where when you release it, it doesn't fully pull itself back into position. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so this is my 2010 Ford Fusion Jadzia, and my wife was complaining that when she drove the car, the seatbelt did not return very well. And it works okay, but it is kind of So for her, since the idea is that she'll be driving this car eventually, we're going to work on that. So what we're going to do to solve the issue, or try to solve it, is we're actually going to clean this. So how this works is you've got the belt. As you can see, it dives down behind this trim here, and somewhere bolted down here on the other side is going to be a retentioner with a spring mechanism in it, and that's what pulls the seatbelt back. Also locks it when it thinks you're in a crash, but that's what pulls it back when you don't have it buckled in and you let go. Now what happens is, over the years, finger oil, fast food, oil from your neck, your shoulder, sweat, you name it, gets impregnated in this material, this woven seatbelt mesh. And the belt actually gets a little bit too thick, and it also kind of clogs up this path right here, and it gets to the point where it does not want to retract properly. So we need to clean it. So what we're going to do to get as much of this cleaned as possible is we're going to pull this belt out until we cannot pull it anymore. We hit the end of its travel, and then we're going to lock it in place with these hose clamp pliers that I have. They're also really handy at holding seatbelts. I don't have a spot to film that in action, and I need both my hands, so I'll go ahead and get it locked in place, and then I'll bring you guys back. Okay, so now it's locked in position. It won't retract, and we have this big old pile of belt that we can work on cleaning. You may think, but wait, Jared, this isn't going to clean all of the belt. You're right, it won't. But most of this belt never touches you. When you set it appropriately, it's staying in here. So we're going to clean what gets worked on, and then we're going to clean what's not. For the first step, you got to lock it. Next step is we're going to hit it with our cleaning solution. And to that end, I purchased some of this. This is Chemical Guys Stain Extractor. And as you can see, it's brand new. I bought this for this specific project, and I just haven't gotten around to it. And we're just going to take it, and we're going to hose the belt down. We're going to get it sopping wet. I'm just going to spray it. And then, this is a Bissell Spot Clean Pro, and we're going to extract it. I'm going to take this fella here, and we're going to slurp the extractor back out of the belt. But before we slurp it out, we are going to agitate it with something. We're going to, mix things up to try to break the dirt loose, and for that I've got this scrubby wheel. I bought this pack of 4 of various stiffnesses on the bristle. I'm going to start out trying with a green. Hopefully these have decent durability. I've never actually tried using it yet. Again, all this was bought for this specific project, and I just now have gotten around to it. So let me get that out of the pack, and we'll spray it down, and we'll agitate. I think I've got the camera in a good spot to do this, I think. So we're just gonna soak it down. So I don't know yet if we're gonna have to run the extractor on both sides of the belt, as I have never done this before, but we're gonna find out. Because when I've done this in the past, I basically just took the belt and I dumped it in warm soapy water and I let it soak, and then I scrubbed it with a brush. But I'm going to try out this method, see if it works better. So as you can see, we've got the drill just on this. I'm going to pull this tight. We're going to try to mix it up. Alright, so let's see what this does. Let's get the Bissell unit out. So this thing is set up that you can pull a trigger and it'll squirt from like an ad tank you've got, but we're gonna try this just dry. I have a feeling it's gonna fight me pretty hard because the belt's kind of slippy and sloppy, but if this doesn't work, I have another idea. It's gonna be messier and a lot louder, but we can try that. Alright, so this is not working like I thought it was going to, so we're going to switch to plan B, but I have to go get the parts for plan B. So I'll be back in a minute and then we'll get set up. Alright guys, I'm back. I apologize if I sound a bit loud. I just put earplugs in. This is plan B. It's a steamer and I think it'll work pretty well, but the thing about my steamer is it's not a super fancy one, so it's kind of noisy, which is why I put the earplugs in, and it's a little awkward. Make sure you follow all the, if you have a steamer, follow all the instructions from the manufacturer. General rule of thumb is that you have to have demineralized or distilled water in it, and do not let it run dry. If you can do those two things, you'll be alright. So this is going to make a mess. Just throwing that out there. If you want, you got some old ratty towels, which I don't, throw those down, because this is going to drip water, dirty water everywhere. In my case, I don't really have any towels I can use, and car's already pretty dirty, so not worried about it. Okay, get this thing on, we'll get started. Alright, so you saw at the very end there, I decided as an experiment to work on this because it's really disgusting. I'm going to get some paper towels, we're going to wipe it down, and get our results. Okay, one other thing, steamers get hot, right? So take care around the steam as you're cleaning. Don't burn yourself. When you are done, what you're going to see sometimes is the belt's going to appear a little fuzzy. That's fine. It's not any weaker or anything. It's just, that's what happens when you clean these woven belts. That's what they do. It's a bit worse when you, oh wow. So I'm wiping it down and that's what I'm getting. It's a bit worse when you do this by hand. So anyway, what I'm going to do now, as you can see, is I'm just drying out the belt. If you got a bucket of rags or something like that, it's a great opportunity to use that. I don't, at least not that are clean enough to do this job. So do it by hand. You can see we have some results. That's what was trapped in the belt. So hang on. Okay, that is so much better. Took my earplugs back out. So I'm going to keep working on this. Use paper towel or 3. Get this cleaned up. Dry the belt out. And then we'll remove our clamp. And we'll see how we're looking. Alright, so in the end, that's what I got off the belt. That doesn't count what dripped off whenever I steamed it. So when you get our clamp loose, let me come and move the camera around so that we can get a better view. Ow, that hurt. Right, so we can get a better view of how well this retracts or doesn't retract after I pull that clamp. Alright, I am back behind the camera. We're still in the tripod, but I got you in the air. So let's pop this loose and see what we get. Get all the twist out of it here. Okay, got the twisties out. Let's just give it a good pull. Yeah, okay. I can dig that. Though it appears, at least with it wet, it's not as happy. There's a section of this where it is not happy. I'm going to have to dig into it and find out why. So it looks like they were good enough that they didn't make that gap too tight. There it goes. So you can see that's reeling okay. I'm wondering if it's just because the belt is wet. It is pulling up. Just a little bit slower, but it is retracting all the way. So. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull all the belt back out. I'm going to put the clamp back and I'm going to let it all dry and then let it retract. So I'll check back in an hour or 2 and we'll see what it does. Good afternoon, everyone. Today is a new day and I found that I had not thoroughly cleaned the belt. It was pretty disgusting. So today I went ahead and I steamed it some more. Got some more junk off of it. And after doing that and letting the belt dry, I can now, you can see the belt's currently in the fully retracted position. I can pull it like so. Let's see if I can. You see I've got the belt buckle out there, and then let it go, and it will pull itself back to the fully retracted position by itself, which is something it would not do before. You'd have to give it a little bit of help. So before, if you were pretending to be buckled up, like so, and then you unbuckled, it would get stuck, and you kind of have to feed it in by hand to get it to go all the way up. And now we let go. As you can see, it immediately retracted this far, and it's caught on the seat, but it is pulling by itself. I'm not touching it. If I give it a little bump to get it clear, it now retracts all the way back by itself. So this is a definite improvement, and so I will consider this a successful repair. Alright guys, forgot to film the outro again, but this is going to wrap it up for my seatbelt cleaning video. This video will apply to any seatbelt in pretty much any car. Just happened to do it in a Ford Fusion. So please leave a comment. Good, bad, constructive. I'm always looking for new information. Also, please like, share, and subscribe. That helps me to grow this channel and to eventually start making a return on investment so I can bring more quality content to the channel. And remember, I make mistakes so you don't have to. I'll see you guys next episode.